Hi. So, Friday night, look at me with my makeup all done and my hair done and like wearing all like nice clothes and I'm wearing jeans. Because normally I'd be in PJ pants at this point, but hey. So, I can officially announce I have participated in my first ever karaoke. Because, I kind of skipped over that whole bar scene and so I missed that karaoke part. And I'm sure there's karaoke in other places, but just what I've heard. But tonight I did my very first karaoke. It was the song "That's Who I Praise" by Brandon Lake, if you're interested. Anyways, guys, I know I say this all the time, but listen, if you need a church, I'm just saying. It was hosted by my church. The worship team, Sarah and Anna spearheading it. It was called Churchioke. It was great. We did a lot of contemporary praise songs, and it was just so amazing. Okay, like people singing karaoke, the rest of us joining in, praising and worshiping. It was just such a night where you could just let loose and praise the Lord. And listen, this will make no sense to you unless you get me. Let's just put it that way. As I drove home, I was thinking, and I thought how blessed I was to be able to have such a wonderful evening and gather with people who get my faith and who I can laugh with and praise with and cry with and everything with. And I thought to myself, I thought so much. I preached the way home to myself. But here's what I want to stick out there. In the Bible, it says, narrow is the gate to life. Few find it. And wide is the path to destruction. That is a very sobering thought. Another sobering thought, if you ain't depressed enough, Jesus says at one point, while the disciples are arguing over who's going to sit next to him in paradise, Jesus is like, there's going to be some of you who come before me and say, Lord, have I not prophesied in your name? Have I not cast out demons in your name? And Jesus is going to say, depart from me. I did not know you. And by the way, we ain't talking about those people. We're talking about church people. Who are going to say, I was doing all the church stuff. And he's going to say, depart from me. I didn't know you. Listen, here's the thing. I always see these memes coming around, and it's the honest to goodness truth. If you did not have a Jesus moment where you met Jesus in a real way and your entire existence was changed, I'm going to wonder if you actually had a Jesus moment. Maybe you had an emotional moment. Maybe you had a traditional moment. Maybe you were walked into it. I don't know. But when you have that Jesus moment, when you meet Jesus face to face, nothing can be the same. Ever. Nothing. He becomes center first and foremost. Tonight, great thing, during our karaoke, we brought up some old DC talk, and we did an old song, Jesus Freak, which I sang back in the day and got to sing it again. And listen, I don't think I got it back then like I get it now, being a Jesus freak. What will people think when they hear that I'm a Jesus freak? What will people do when they find out it's true? I don't really care if they label me a Jesus freak. There ain't no denying the truth. And that's the truth. Because if you haven't had that moment where everything changes, I'd find a quiet place, sit, have a conversation with Jesus. Having a Bible present would be great if you think you need another person of faith to be there with you. But trust me, y'all, I hate to say I'm not a doomsday prepper because I've really never been that closely watching it. But a lot of the people I'm hearing are talking about last days and things going on in the Middle East and all these prophecies being fulfilled. And I don't know. I don't know if Jesus is showing up tomorrow or if Jesus is showing up 100 years from now. I don't know. But this thing, I'll tell you, when Jesus shows up, this girl's going to be ready. And you need to be ready. And if you're not ready, Kenport Assembly of God, Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. I hear there's going to be a teacher teaching adult Sunday school. 9:30 a.m. Kenport Assembly of God, Cherry Tree, Pennsylvania. They would love to see you there. Also, there's stuff for the kids because I teach adult Sunday school, but there's also kids Sunday school. And then at 10:30 sharp, praise and worship service, followed by a powerful word and a place to call home. Friends, even if Jesus doesn't come back tomorrow, you have no idea when he's coming back for you. When this earthly vessel will be shed and you will come face to face with your Creator. And let me tell you, it might be sooner than you think. And I know some of you think you have all the time in the world. You don't. Because no matter how much time you think you have, you always think you have more. And someday, the more will be time up. And then after that, there's nothing more to be done. But listen, here's the good news. I'm not asking you to walk into a horrible situation. I'm asking you to walk into the most fulfilling, most important, most life-giving relationship you will ever have in your entire existence. Listen, let me fill you in a little secret here. You know that need you feel for love, for acceptance, for that connection. And as Satan always does, he perverts it. Now, he doesn't make it completely dark because then we would know. It would be like, oh, demon, bad. But no, Satan perverts things and makes them look good, and we go after that. It's his trick. Old as the day is long. Back in Genesis, he twisted what God said, tricked them, and got them to sin against God. But can I mention in Genesis, when the people sinned, Adam and Eve, and they hid because they realized they were naked and they were shameful, and the shame came from Satan because all that garbage that's in your life right now is from Satan. It ain't from God. That condemnation, that shame, that anger, that addiction, everything, that's from Satan. That's not from God. It's Satan. But back to, when they were hiding in the bushes, do you know whose very hands knitted together the leaves of the fig trees to make them some clothes? God the Father. They sinned against him. They were in their own shame, and that God the Father got down, sewed together leaves to make them clothes so they could put them on and come out of the bushes and talk to him so they wouldn't be ashamed. What kind of God does that? Start in Genesis and read to Revelations. The entire book is full of stories of God coming after his people, seeking after his people. Even though his people are turning around, not trusting him, and this, that, and the other, and humans. And yet he goes after them anyways. The whole book. That's what it's all about. Him chasing humans. Until the culminating act of the Son of God coming to earth. And providing the way. In order for humans, who are different from other heavenly creatures who are made to worship God. Humans are different. We are given the privilege of choice, if you want to call it a privilege of choice. We get to choose to love him or choose not to. And a lot of people say, why? Why didn't he just have us be forced to love him? Because he didn't want forced love. He wanted choice. What kind of love is love if it forces itself upon you? If somebody tells you, well, that's your person you have to love. No, love is love because someone chooses you. And that's what God wanted. He wanted us to choose him. So, he created humans. Humans sinned. A holy and righteous God cannot look upon sin. He can only look upon the holy and the righteous. This is a problem. So the Son of God came to earth, lived a life as a human, went through all of our struggles, all of our temptations, all of our joys, all of our celebrations, all of our grieving, everything, to come to the culmination in order for there to be a bridge between man and God. A blood sacrifice had to be made. That was the Jewish tradition. Yearly, the Passover, they would sacrifice a pure and spotless lamb. They would offer up his blood for their sacrifice. And God said, this is it. My Son, Jesus Christ, is coming down to offer his blood for you once and for all. And Jesus, alone, naked, bloodied, hung on the cross, said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He offered up his spirit. And in that moment, when the veil tore, there was no more separation between man and God. Jesus had reached that chasm. Jesus had built that bridge. And now, little, measly human me can speak to the God of the universe, because I have claimed that Jesus Christ is my Lord of my life. He is the Savior of my soul. Therefore, his blood covers me, and I can speak to God the Father. There's no veil. There's no one that needs to go in between us. God the Father wants to hear from me. It's not about a particular religion. It's not about a particular place. It's not about a particular set of rules or anything. It's about a Father loving me so much, he went after me with everything he had. And he didn't let go until he had me. And I'm not letting go ever. I was going to say until I'm home with him, but then I'm still not letting go. I'm still holding on, because he is my God. And just to circle back a little bit about that whole, God created us for relationship with him, and Satan distorted it. And I'm not saying that other relationships in our life are not worthwhile and don't bring joy and happiness and worth to our lives, because they do. Spousal relationships, romantic relationships, familial relationships, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, all of those relationships, friends, church family I consider as family. Those relationships are absolutely priceless. But friends, you were not created for that kind of you were created for that kind of relationship, but that's not the round peg in the round hole. We take those kind of relationships, and Satan has distorted it, and he tells us that we can only be fulfilled, and we can only find happiness, and this world is all about finding that right relationship with another human being, and we sit here trying to pound a square peg in the round hole. Bam, 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 bam. No. Our entire purpose is to find a relationship with a loving, sacrificial, never going to leave you, never going to forsake you, promise to be with you to the very end of the age. That kind of love. That's true love. That's the love you were created for. All those other loves, icing on the birthday cake. And a lot of times we find these super deep, important relationships through that. But guys, it's not about the Hollywood romance. It's not about the millions of romance novels they sell. It's not about that. Satan has taken something that God wanted, a loving relationship with his people, and he's distorted it just enough to make it still good and still seem, but to take our attention away from him. I'm not saying you can't have those relationships, and I'm not saying they can't build you closer to the glory of God and all that, but I am saying the number one most important relationship is your relationship with Christ. And if it's anything other than that, it ain't golden, because your first and foremost relationship is with Jesus Christ. the one who bled and died for your soul, the only one who will never leave you. And I know there are people who promise, myself, I promise I'll be there for you through thick and thin. But listen, we're human and we sin and we fail, but God never does. God never leaves. God is always there for us, always cheering us on, right behind us, saying, you keep going. I read a meme today that said, you threw in the towel and God threw it back. He was like, we ain't done yet. If you're still breathing, we ain't done. So, I'm going to wrap this up. Because frankly, I get this makeup off, and y'all, I got to get to bed. But let me tell you, church karaoke was worth it. I was like, not sure if I wanted to go or not. Like I said, I've never done karaoke, and I was like, I don't know. But my bestest friends were going to be there, and I was like, I want to celebrate. Like, I want to be with them, and I want to, like, and it was awesome. And I don't think this will be our only one. And guys, you don't have to sing. You don't know how to sing. Like, you can sit up there, like, go. Show up. Even if you just sit there and listen. It's a great time. We laughed, we talked, we ate. It was fabulous. Let me leave you with this. You don't want to come to the end of your life and hear, God forbid, depart from me. Because I need you. I need you in eternity with me. I just said to my sister today, I was like, thank God this isn't it. As Christians, this is the worst it's going to get. From here on out, we got heaven to look forward to, eternity, paradise, good things. I don't know how people do it without that kind of a perspective. Don't come to the end and miss the forest for the trees. Don't think that you're good enough or you've done enough. If you don't have that relationship with Christ, like I said, you don't need me. Go to a quiet place, let it get quiet, and talk to him. You might not feel anything at first. Do it again. Do it again. Maybe you need a spiritual leader. Maybe you need to open up a Bible. Maybe you do need to reach out to somebody like me, and I'd love to pray with you and talk to you about some spiritual things. I don't know, but do not come to the end and hear, depart from me. He's too wonderful, people. And I'm not talking about eternity, because that's pretty, hello. I'm talking about right now. My life is amazing because of Jesus Christ. Today, yesterday, for all eternity. He's my Alpha and Omega, my beginning and my end. You hear me snotty? Yeah, fighting this coldy thingy. And I still went to karaoke. Not saying I did all that great, but I still went and sang. And that's okay, because I'm sure it made Jesus proud. And he's who I care about. All right, I love you all. Can't wait to see you at the next churchioke. It's going to be good. And if I don't get to talk to you tomorrow, I'm not sure. We'll see how. I'm not sure what all plans are for tomorrow. But Sunday, 9:30, somebody is teaching adult Sunday school, 9:30. And then services start at 10:30. And guys, you ain't got yourself a church? Kingport Assembly of God, Cherry Tree, Pennsylvania. We're a group of people who, hey, we may not be perfect, but we're chasing the Lord together. We love each other. We love the Lord. And we're going after him. We're going after him. And he is blessing us. Truly. So, good night. God bless. I love y'all. And I will see you soon.